Did you know that Reiki healing can be done at a distance? It's true. So let Reiki Oasis focus powerful energy to help relieve your stress, grief, sadness, anger, and so much more. Convenient, personalized treatments at a distance can increase lightness of being. During your appointment, find a quiet place to lie down or sit to receive healing energies. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
Good morning and welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show. And guess what? I'm Loretta Brown.
She's here.
Yeah.
She's here.
I kind of had to swim through the fog.
It's pretty thick out there.
Yeah. Thank you for the fog. Now I feel like I'm on the Titanic and I need to be at the front of the boat,
Well, you're going to be the beaming light in the front because it's going to have to be super bright getting through this stuff out here.
Bright, super bright. Yeah, be careful with traffic. There was that stoplight I had to sit at 4 times before I finally got through
Which
it.
one? Right down here?
Yeah, the
What?
one. Yeah.
How dare they make
So-
it hard for you? Don't they know who you are?
I kept asking them and no one cared.
I'd have just been gone right around it. Got to shout around.
I know. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I love my listeners, obviously. If you weren't out there, I'd be talking to, I'd be talking anyway, apparently. That's what happens.
The mouth.
The mouth. Yeah, that's what my dad had a nickname for me.
It's perfect.
He called me Squeak.
Oh, I'm the mouth. You're Squeak.
Or I might have been
I
Squawk.
think you were both.
Yeah, he had little names like that for all of his 7 children. So, yeah.
To keep track of every one of you. I don't know your name. Come here, Squeak.
My dad has
Side name.
passed on, and bless him, and I loved my dad. But it did get to the point where all of his children had their children who had their children. And I remember one time, I don't know if he was talking to a grandchild or a great grandchild, and he looked at them and he said, "Now, who's your parents? Who are you?" Right. I love that kind of stuff. So I hope you're enjoying each other. You're loving each other, loving self, because, boy, we have a lot going on in this world, don't we? And I have a great show lined up for you today, and we're actually going to open the lines at some point, and we're going to be talking about turmeric. And I'll introduce my guest in just a minute, but we're going to talk about, oh my goodness, so many of you out there have health problems, and you're looking for something that, well, maybe it could help, right? Like, we can't actually say the word heal and cure, unless I'm talking about a ham. I could cure a ham.
Sounds so good right now.
I know, doesn't that sound good? Yeah. Well, I keep Benny.
It's my lunchtime. Well, it's getting close.
Well, yeah, because
I get up so early.
It's 2 a.m. or
This is
something.
my lunch.
Yeah, it's your lunchtime, and
Oh,
the
ham.
rest of us are rubbing our eyes and going, "Oh, what's going on?"
Ham for breakfast?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Well, actually, that's still
Actually,
works.
yeah, no,
still
people have ham for
Yeah.
breakfast. They have.
Not in my head. I'm thinking like this giant, massive, quarter pound slab of delicious goodness.
Stacked on a plate.
Yep, that's it.
I can smell it now.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is. Anyway, this is the Loretta Brown Show, and I'm sorry, we're just horsing around a little bit and getting ourselves settled in.
We're hamming it up.
We're having it up. Oh, that
there
was
we
perfect.
go, right
That was
there.
great.
Too easy.
Yeah, that was too easy. I am the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. Reiki Oasis has been around over 23 years. We do wonderful things there because that's what we do. And sometimes we make you laugh and sometimes we make you cry. You can find out more about me at ReikiOasis.com. You can sign up for everything at schedule.ReikiOasis.com. We are a listener-supported show. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much. If you want to be part of the family, the support family, go to patreon.com/thelorettabrownShow.com. And Benny, we have a KKNW survey going on right now. Is that correct?
We do. If you visit 1150kknw.com, it's right there on the main page, and it's just a little bit of information we need from you guys just to help better craft the station for you and maybe what you don't want to hear. I mean, it depends on what you really want. We need to hear from you. So, again, visit 1150kknw.com for the annual, and it's a listener survey. And by doing so, you're actually entering yourself into a drawing for a round-trip passage on the Victoria Clipper up to Victoria, BC, a day trip, plus a $100 gift certificate to Schwartz Brothers Restaurant. So all that is at 1150kknw.com. Just enter to win the possible survey drawing, and you'll have all those wonderful things, and we would appreciate it.
We would really appreciate it, especially the original Loretta Brown show.
Oh, yeah. They can say they can vote for your show.
Thumbs up.
Because, I mean, there's kind of a likability on
Yeah,
some of them, but that's
yeah.
what we're not about. It's not all about popularity.
No,
but
it's not, by the way.
it kind of shows what are the most influential shows, let's say that.
Right. A lot of time, by the way, listeners, you guys send me little emails or you PM me on Facebook, and your little comments are so encouraging to me, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to do that. Like, wow, great show today. And, of course, my guests love to hear that,
Like
too.
more ham talk.
Yeah.
Or less ham talk.
Less ham talk. More ham talk, something.
You're going to get a comment on that,
There
too.
was the Manzy onesie. I'm not going back to that.
I forgot about the Manzy
I'm
onesie.
not going back to
Oh,
that.
that was a good one.
It only came up because one of my friends was
Wanting one?
no. No, I was talking to him on the face to face, and his wife goes
like FaceTime?
walks behind with
Oh.
a baby, and she's wearing a unicorn onesie. So they're alive and well. They are out there.
Yeah, don't knock them till you try 'em.
No,
I'm
no,
just saying,
I'm
don't
not-
knock them till you try them.
You know, the weather's getting chilly, so
Cuddle up with your Manzy onesies.
your Manzy onesie. That's right. So quick astrology check-in. Venus is retrograde. It's already started. Can you feel the intensity? It will be retrograde from October 5th to November 16th. That's like
So we're in it.
6 weeks. We're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay.
you may be wondering if the craziness of the world has to do with Venus retrograde, and you're probably wondering how Venus retrograde will affect you. Please don't blame Venus for everything, the goddess of love. Well, she is a little retrograde right now.
Just a little wacky.
So if life got a lot more intense lately, you're not alone. Venus retrograde is a big thing because Venus goes retrograde less than any other planet. It goes retrograde once every 19 months and only 7% of the time. So Venus retrograde in Scorpio is by definition more intense than any other Venus retrograde because Scorpio is that sign of intensity and transformation. But I want to give you a little encouraging word. It's the first 3 weeks that are going to be intense because it's a phase of purging. Any trapped thoughts, feelings, and memories are finally ready to come out. And, when, I'm trying to say this delicately, when you're all blocked up in your body and then it lets go, you always feel better after that. You do. So the second half of Venus retrograde is completely different. After Venus is conjunct the sun, we're officially done with the previous 19-month Venus cycle. So you can look back to 19 months, the last 19 months of love and safety and security and all of the things that Venus rules going, oh, I made it.
Exactly, my point.
So a new cycle
said.
is beginning. I feel like I belly crawled. The focus will be on how to start fresh and clean, and Venus retrograde will end on a glorious note with Venus going direct at 25 degrees Libra and conjunct the highly beneficial fixed star of Spica. Now, Venus and Libra love each other, by the way, and Libra helps bring in that balance to all of those areas of our life that really need it. So this Venus retrograde can have a wonderful, happy ending, but it does require awareness. You can't go to sleep like Sleeping Beauty and then just wake up and there's love, the kiss of love, It's just not quite that way. You have to do the work. Venus in Scorpio is not a time to run away. It's a time to stay with your feelings, even if they're unsettling, and work all the way through. And just a little FYI, if you're a Scorpio, a Libra, a Taurus, or an Aries, or if you have your moon or your rising sign in Scorpio, Libra, Taurus, or Aries, you may feel this retrograde stronger than others. So utilize it to clean up your life and make things better. And speaking about cleaning up your life, cleaning up your body, turmeric is sometimes called the golden goddess. It is a yellow spice used in many Asian cuisines, especially for curries, and it has been used in India and parts of Asia for thousands of years for its health-promoting properties. So my guest today, Christian Wild, is a medical author and researcher who has authored 3 books. He's authored Hidden Causes of Heart Attack and Stroke and Miracle Stem Cell Heart Repair. And he also authors the Christian Wild Stem Cell and Turmeric Research Report, covering more than 87 catastrophic diseases. His work has been supported by the directors of stem cell research, cardiovascular disease, and regenerative medicine at 11 major universities. And he is an often guest on George Norrie's Coast to Coast radio show. And so we're glad to have him here today. He's going to tell us everything we need to know, hopefully, about turmeric. Welcome to the show, Christian.
Well, I'm already enjoying the rapport between the two of you. I could just sit here to the whole hour and listen to you.
Pull right on
work
up with a
very
slab
well together.
Yeah, pull right on up with a slab of ham, and you're good to go.
Yeah, the ham it up. Yeah.
After that will be Chick-fil-A
Right.
and no, don't go there, because we might need some turmeric after that. What do you think, Christian?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
You know, PhD, Andrew Weil, a world leader in turmeric research, once said, "The benefits of turmeric may be too many to mention." And turmeric author and undisputed world leader in turmeric research, MD, PhD, Loretta Agarwal from MD Anderson Cancer Center, published on this subject more than 600 times, wrote, "In 50 years of research, I have seen no cancer that has not benefited from turmeric." And now today, turmeric is being discussed everywhere as it's exploded in the media. Before I did the show today with you, I had done a Google search for turmeric and then for curcumin, the proponent of turmeric, and came up with 45 million entries.
Oh,
Now, when I first started talking about turmeric on the Nuri show about 12 years ago, I had no intention or interest in developing my own formula. I just was an advocate of turmeric, and now it is everywhere. So this spice from Southeast Asia, as you mentioned, in the Mideast, whose history reaches back thousands of years with more than 6,900 documented biomedical studies in just the last 20 years. No pharmaceutical drug in history could ever have withstood that kind of scrutiny. So turmeric continues to gain unprecedented popularity in the West, and there are advantages that this anti-inflammatory, natural anti-inflammatory may provide for you and your family. And there are more than 650 health conditions now being treated with turmeric.
650 health conditions. You know, those little statistics you threw out are just mind-boggling.
That's what it is. And it's when you find something that works, word of mouth goes everywhere. And we all have been given prescriptions and told you'll see a difference in your ailment in a few weeks or 2 months or something. But with turmeric, it's immediate. I had a fellow back in Ohio who had both knees operated on at the same time, which he would never do again. The doctors told him just do one at a time, but he did them both. And his pain was incredible. and they had prescribed all of the typical drugs they would in a case like that. And he said, I got no relief. He said, but the second day I was on your turmeric, I noticed a big difference. I wanted to call you and tell you. So it's something that works. We're not stupid. You know, we know that if something works and it is for real, and that is the reason it has become so popular. So most of the people that I hear from are people with arthritis, either rheumatoid or osteo, and the success with turmeric. There are 350 million people worldwide, 40 million in the United States who are living with rheumatoid arthritis, and there are more than 21 million Americans impacted with osteo. So if you're currently taking one of the following list of NSAIDs, Aleve, Celebrex, Naproxen, diclofenac, naproxen, ibuprofen, but Voltaren, and at least 15 other generic names, you may want to discuss the following information with your physician. The amount of death yearly attributed to the NSAIDs is now 17,000. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, announced it was strengthening an existing warning on all non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. That's what NSAID stands for. And that they increase the chance of a heart attack or a stroke. And the British Medical Journal finds that NSAIDs increase the risk of heart failure. So here's the takeaway. I'd say in head-to-head studies, turmeric not only outperformed all of the NSAIDs, but it did so without a single side effect. And that's what's going to be the theme throughout what we talk about, is that all the other drugs, as you know, have multiple side effects. Turmeric, in all the studies, shows no side effects. It does caution against anybody who is pregnant or thinking of getting pregnant or lactating. And if somebody has bile duct disease, there's a concern that it may possibly irritate that. So after 15 years of advocating and discussing the benefits of turmeric on national radio, I decided to develop my own special formula that won the Emord and Associates Excellence in Health Innovation Award at the 10-year Liberty Gala in Cambridge, Maryland.
Wow.
For inventing novel and effective products that enhance health and life. There you have it.
Wow. You said so much just then. You know, I want to go back and bring out some of the points. Before I do that, I want to let my listening audience know that we're opening the lines this morning. If you want to call in with a question for Christian Wild, you have some kind of a health issue and you'd like to know, well, will turmeric help me? You know, what does he have to say about that? Give us a call at 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. And the lines are open now. So I'll say the numbers again, 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. So if you're out there driving around in your car and you're at the stoplight for 4 times, you have time to call us with a question.
And you know, you could also include heart disease.
Heart disease.
If you have a question on heart disease or heart failure.
Yeah, and I also want to say that you've done a lot of work with stem cells, you know, in the world of stem cells, and we may get to that in the show or not. But I just kind of want to open it up that this is an amazing opportunity for people to call in. And I was really listening to what you said. You know, so many people go and we get these prescription drugs and we're told, well, this will take care of it. And what really surprised me in what you said was a couple of things. Number one, no side effects. Number two, it works right away.
It does.
That's startling to me.
That's what we keep hearing from people. They couldn't believe it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because often, we look at things like, I mean, turmeric's a spice, the curcumin, which I
Mhm.
can't say
Mhm.
properly 10
That's right.
times quickly. And
Mhm.
it's it we often think these things that are not prescription medications are going to take, oh, well, it's going to take you 3 months or 6 months to see any benefit. So what about pain?
Mhm. First of all, inflammation causes pain. When I wrote Hidden Causes of Heart Attack and Stroke many years ago, I chose as its subtitle Inflammation Cardiology's New Frontier. At that time, in medical circles, they were just starting to talk about inflammation. And now we know inflammation is at the root of all chronic diseases and most all diseases. And that's something new. You hear about anti inflammatory. Well, the most natural and effective anti inflammatory is turmeric. It literally neutralizes inflammation. Now, inflammation in the body, if you injure yourself, is a necessary, life saving uh, process, but it's just for a short period of time. But when it's chronic, like in arthritis or cancer or any of these other diseases, uh, it's going to haunt you forever. And that is the big danger. I've got on the website, I posted 25 of the hundreds of reasons for turmeric. Let me just run two or three down.
Okay.
When combined with cauliflower, it has been shown to help prevent prostate cancer
Oh,
and slow or stop the growth of existing prostate cancer. That's a study from Rutgers University. 9 of 11 studies have shown a reduction in tumor size by 81%. And of course, tumor in cancer may prevent and slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease and inhibiting the removing of amyloid plaque buildup in the brain, which is the hallmark. So why do they have the lowest Alzheimer in all the world, which we're all getting concerned about as we get older, ourselves and our parents, our grandparents? Why does India have the lowest Alzheimer in the world or dementia? Now, Gary Cole, a researcher from UCLA, took his team to India and studied one village, and they found that among those villagers over 65, only 1% showed any tendency for developing dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Also, it's a potent natural anti-inflammatory that works as well as often better than many anti-inflammatory drugs. We know that. It's been used for 5,000 years for depression in China. And we believe now there are 1 in 5 people in America have some form of depression. And studies are going on for multiple myeloma, and it has been shown to stop the growth of new blood vessels in tumors. That's VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. We've heard back in the recent 10 years or so that if you can starve the blood flow to the tumor, you can kill it. So those are just a few that are on the website.
so uh, turmeric and cauliflower
Hmm.
for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And
I never can say that right.
cruciferous.
Cruciferous
Yeah.
vegetables like broccoli, uh, Brussels sprouts, but primarily they found in the study that cauliflower.
Mm. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking people need to just be serving that up.
Hmm.
Depression is rampant.
Isn't that a shame? It's such a crippling condition. Most people not even aware that they have it.
No, yeah, because there's
But if they listen to
awareness.
your show, they won't be depressed. They'll be uplifted, like I am, just hearing you two start off the show.
It was the mansy onesie.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, you have to do that
Uh-huh.
because depression is rampant in Washington.
Yeah, it is. We do suffer.
Well, we
from
need the
it.
sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine raises dopamine, serotonin, and the transmitters. So people who live in Arizona around with the sun all the time, or even Las Vegas, they get that vitamin D3 and the vitamin D advantage. That's another thing that you have to be aware of. Have your vitamin D hydroxy 25 tested. If next time you see your physician for a physical, say, I'd like to know what my vitamin D level is. And they can turn that around.
Oh, that's a great thing to ask about because we definitely suffer from seasonal depressive disorder here. And of course, today is total foggy. Like, where is this guy? It's up there somewhere. Yeah. We're going to take a station break. And this is the original Loretta Brown Show. My guest today is Christian Wild. We are talking about turmeric and over 650 health conditions that it may help with. The lines are open, 425-373-5527, 1-888-298-5569. Call in if you have heart disease, you've got diabetes, you've got depression, you've got pain. Call in and let's find out what Christian's advice is to you. Thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Energy is powerful. It's all around us, mysterious, full of potential. Directing positive, healing energy to raise your vibrational rate through Reiki can change your life. Reiki Master Loretta Brown has relieved stress, sadness, anger, and even helped clients lose weight, stop smoking, and end sleep disorders. Worldwide, people have sought out Reiki Oasis. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
Hi, this is Eric Ryder, Operations Manager for Alternative Talk 1150. We value your opinion and invite you to 1150kknw.com to fill out the 2018 Listener Survey. Your response helps us shape KKNW to your listening needs. As an added incentive, when you fill out the survey, you'll have a chance to win an awesome prize. Complete contest details and your opportunity to help us shape this station can be found at 1150kknw.com.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Radio with no added hormones or preservatives. All natural alternative talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to the original Loretta Brown Show. My guest today is Christian Wild. We're talking about the benefits, the health benefits of the spice turmeric. And I kind of think if you don't have it in your kitchen, you should run right out and get it. And you should also check out the turmeric that Christian Wild has available for you to purchase. I wanted to bring that up very briefly. And oh, by the way, the lines are open in case you want to call in. I have to announce it again, Benny. 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. Don't be afraid to call in. Give us a call. You mentioned that you have a turmeric product, and I do want you to tell us a little bit more about that, because I was at Costco the other night, and they were handing out samples of some liquid turmeric thing. And tell us about what you've put together, because I think you told us you've won an award for that.
Yes, that was about 4 years ago, and what I did is I added a outstanding level of not only turmeric, the powder, but also curcumin, the extract. And without that, it's half as effective. So we added boswellia, we added ginger, devil's claw, green tea extract, bromelain, and then a double amount of black pepper to make it bioavailable. So that's the combination that seems to work so well for people. So you've got all these other anti-inflammatories with the turmeric. That's why we called it the Enhanced Turmeric Plus formula.
Enhanced Turmeric Plus formula. Where can they get that, by the way?
Get it on the website at www.myheartbook.com. myheartbook.com. We don't sell it in stores. That's why we're able to give you 90 days for the price of one. Normally, people charge for 1 month. We give you all of these anti-inflammatories for a 3-month supply. myheartbook.com. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's great, because I really believe in helping people find their health. Without our health, what do we have, right? We can have riches and we can have a sports car, but if we don't have our health, what good does that do us?
That's so true. And more as we get older. But, the information is that 1 in 2 of us, if we live long enough, will develop some form of cancer in our lifetimes. So we need to pay a great amount of attention to what we can do through diet and exercise. We all know that. Avoidance of processed foods. But, it's important that we do everything we can. Agarwal at MD Anderson has tracked some 31 pathways turmeric travels to do its destruction in our bodies. And I put that graph with their permission on the website. He's been successful in using turmeric to shut down 2 of cancer's main pathways, which are nuclear kappa B and STAT3. Would you like me to compare the 5 worst cancers between the United States and India?
Yes, I would, because I was actually just going to ask you about cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, please
This
do.
is out of 1 million people. Okay. In the United States, there'll be 660 women with breast cancer, and of that number of 660, 160 will die. When I look at India, instead of 660 getting it, only 79, and the deaths are 41 compared to 160. When you look at prostate cancer, you get 690 cases out of 1 million men in America. 130 will die. Only 9 will die in India. So colorectal, 530 in the United States, 220 will die. Only 18 will die, and only 30 will get it compared to 530. And an interesting one particularly is pancreatic cancer. We keep hearing more and more about it. 108 in America, 103 will not survive. Only 8 will get it in India. So, and then they have the lowest Alzheimer. Did I tell you that Gary Cole took a team from UCLA to go to India? Did I already repeat that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
After I do a lot of interviews,
I was
I
going to
get
say,
confused. He took a team to Italy. Pardon me. I'm going to Italy. Took a team to India and looked at the villagers in one village over 65, and only 1% showed any signs of developing dementia or Alzheimer's. So more and more we see, and these are inflammatory diseases.
Mm-hmm.
All the things I'm talking about are based in inflammation. And there's no side effects with turmeric. So that's what's so amazing about it. You mentioned that earlier. It's true.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about turmeric and chemotherapy? I mean, obviously, we're not suggesting you do things without talking to your doctor, but
Oh, yeah.
can, could you just talk about that? Does that
Yes,
work?
I can.
Yeah, can you?
They found out at MD Anderson, again, Dr. Agarwal, that turmeric is a chemosensitizer and a radiosensitizer, which means if they had to give you chemo, but they combined it with chemosensitizer turmeric, it was twice as effective. And in radio, as a radiosensitizer, it made the tumor more susceptible to a successful outcome with chemo, if you had to use chemo. So it's twice as effective, and then because it carries off a lot of the toxicity because turmeric is non-toxic, and it makes taking those drugs a lot less painful. So
Wow.
used in combination with many chemo drugs, they're finding a much better final outcome for the patient. When cancer is developed, when a cancer drug is developed, is generally targeting one type of cancer. But because cancer targets many pathways at the same time, the drug is limited in its use and its success. So we often hear somebody went through the entire chemo process and they thought they got it all. They say, we think we got it all. And in a few months, it comes back with a vengeance. Now, turmeric targets several pathways, not just one, and it does it at the same time and without side effects. So it's being used more and more in cancer treatment than ever before. And if it's used in combination, there are great, advantages. So one major breakthrough in cancer treatment is the development of the checkpoint inhibitors and immunotherapy and how they target cancer cells. We know about Jimmy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He was diagnosed with melanoma in his brain and brain tumors, and he was diagnosed in, I believe it was August. By December, he was completely free using immunotherapy. What's happened is our cells, our immune cells, one of their functions is to go out and find a cancer cell, which we all know we have, and destroy it. Until now, they've never been able to make that cancer cell available to be destroyed because it builds a protective sheath around itself. How crazy. But that's what it does. The new immunotherapy drugs trick the cancer cell to drop its shield. And when it drops its shields, the immune therapy cell, our cells, can destroy it. And that's probably the biggest major breakthrough in cancer treatment, immunotherapy.
So,
Now,
go ahead.
turmeric successfully breaks the blood-brain barrier. Very few pharmaceutical drugs have ever been able to do that. So the spice is being studied and used more and more for treating neurological diseases. As example, the FDA currently has 247 turmeric trials in progress, with 4 trials actually assigned to schizophrenia. There are trials for bipolar disease, autism, TBI, that's traumatic brain injury, and Alzheimer's, and of course, depression. Uh, all of these, because it breaks the blood barrier, and so we're going to see more and more, we're going to read more and more about how turmeric in trials is regenerating damaged nerve brain cells. And these studies are going on at major university and how turmeric extends life and longevity. So we are living in an exciting time, and if the traffic doesn't destroy us, we can maybe survive. Maybe they ought to use turmeric for drivers.
Yeah.
And if you're late for work in the morning and you're on the freeway, you're such a risk to everybody.
There'll be something in the car that will measure and say, have you had your turmeric today?
Have you had your turmeric today? Yeah.
You cannot drive until you've had it.
Yeah.
I am amazed and excited about everything you're saying. This ability for it to break the blood-brain barrier is huge.
Yes.
And these studies on bipolarity, depression, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And diabetes, pre-diabetes. The report from the CDC a few years ago said 30.3 million Americans, 9.4% of our population have diabetes. Another 84 million are pre-diabetic. And that's a condition, if it's not treated, often leads to type 2 within 5 years. So your A1C number, you need on your physical to make sure they check you for your A1C number. And if your insulin is between 5.7 and 6.4, you're considered pre-diabetes. But the American Diabetic Association says they don't believe in pre-diabetes. They say that if you are pre-diabetic, then you are actually a diabetic. So they've changed their leniency on those numbers. But if you're between 5.7 and 6.4, it's pre-diabetic. 6.5 and above is diabetes. And turmeric is very effective in not only helping control cholesterol and weight management, but the numbers for diabetes. So there's benefits all the way around, and I guess that's the reason we're seeing it everywhere you turn. How could something like this be kept quiet, almost like a secret, all of these decades? But its time has come. I spoke at the Cancer Annual Society and at the Sheraton Universal, and my topic, turmeric out of the closet, because its time had come.
I sometimes think, and I want to go back to diabetes in a moment, but I sometimes think that people have a weird idea that something's too easy, right? Like, what, I just have to do that? And I don't know why we think we need to make it harder than that or complicated.
Boy, that's a good point.
You know, I have some drug with some long name I can't pronounce. Surely that's better than just turmeric, right?
Yeah, in spite of the fact that drug with the name you can't pronounce has a list of side effects that should scare you to death. You could go blind from this. You could become paralyzed. You could die from it. And they go on and on and on, like on these television ads. And still, the doctor gives it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I have kind of a joke about that because they'll start out going, take this drug, and then you'll feel like, springtime and loveliness. And then as it goes on, there's all these horrible side effects.
Side effects.
Yeah.
None of these, I know you know this, but it's good to repeat it. None of these drugs cure you of anything. There'd be no future in pharmaceutical companies if you took it for 1 month and you're done. No, all they do is control some of the side effects, so you have to take it for the rest of your life. Think what that would do to their revenue stream if you took it only one time and said, "Thank you, I'm healed."
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah, that's what it is, and it brings me to that place of, not to overly pick on
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceuticals, right, and the, the
That's true.
FDA, but I have to ask this question because I'm thinking about it while you're talking. Obviously, this has been around at least 5,000 years,
Yes.
and people have been using it. And now it's starting to really gain attention finally, at least here in the United States. Are they trying to create a synthetic turmeric, or do you know?
Boy, are you? That's a great question, and I
Yeah.
think I have an answer.
Okay.
Pharmaceutical companies have now discovered turmeric, and they're in studies developing drugs, for instance, for stroke. Uh,
Ah.
Turmeric, when one has a stroke, they can break the clot with tissue plasminogen activator, TPA, but that does not correct the damage that's happened from the stroke. Turmeric can correct the damage. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
developing a drug using turmeric for that. There are all kind of drugs being developed from turmeric, and there is a movement on synthesizing it. There's a lot of it on the market that's not as effective, but they can make money on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the new buzzword, turmeric, turmeric. Let's see what we can do to develop drugs using turmeric. Uh, Certainly, but what's amazing? How it went by so long before they realized it. I know many, many years ago, some pharmaceutical companies were trying to get a patent on it, but the FDA turned them down.
Mm.
Uh, Told them it's a natural thing, and we're not going to give you a patent on it. So the other thing, there, we've lived forever with knowing that calcification is a killer in heart disease. It's a killer to the heart valves. We know that calcification in breast tumors is a thing that women are afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and a discovery made in 1925 by a biochemist in uh, Denmark had discovered vitamin K, but not until 2013 uh, did it live down the dubious title of the forgotten vitamin. Well, to make it short, now they know that vitamin K2, MK7, not K1, which is recognized to supporting the cardiovascular system, can dissolve calcification in your arteries. Vitamin K2 keeps calcification and calcium in the bones where it belongs, because when it leaves the bones, it looks for a new home, and it finds it in the soft tissues. So that's a big breakthrough, and I developed my second formula that has coenzyme Q10 and all of the other important nutrients that statin drugs tend to destroy in your body. So in this new formula is coenzyme Q10, taurine, amino acid, L-carnitine, vitamin K2, vitamin D3, selenium, and magnesium, all together to lower the effects of calcium leaching into the heart valves in the heart and into the breast tissue that causes breast cancer.
Oh, that is great. What do you call this formula?
It's Christian Wild's uh, Heart Health Support.
Okay. Once again, just reminding my listening audience that you can go, that my guest is Christian Wild, and you can go to www.myheartbook.com. You can get his enhanced turmeric
Yeah. Turmeric Plus formula.
Turmeric Plus formula.
Now, where's those phone calls from your listeners?
Oh, they're sleepy out there today fighting the fog, I think. I don't quite know what happened to them, but hopefully we're answering their questions.
Hopefully.
Yeah. You still have time to get on the air with us if you want to give us a quick call, 425-373-5527, 1-888-298-5569. And we love talking to people, but, Christian, occasionally they are just out there fighting traffic and they can't call.
I know what that's about.
Yeah, they can't do it. So, but I do have a couple of questions because you're alluding to heart disease. Well, you're not alluding to it. You're talking to it straight on. And the benefit of turmeric for that. And I wanted to jump back a little bit because you were talking about cancers. What about skin cancer?
Skin cancer?
Yeah.
Melanoma?
Yeah, melanoma. Because you mentioned melanoma.
All of it is helped. I'll take you back to that quote from world leader Agarwal. In 50 years of research, I have seen no cancer that has not benefited from turmeric. So that would include melanoma.
No.
And
that's amazing.
you don't have as much a problem with it up in the Pacific Northwest as other places where they're in that constant. Oh, Arizona, for instance, that constant sun.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, your wish is the listener's command. We've got Diane who would love to say some lovely things to you there, Christian. So, Diane, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Hi, Loretta.
Hi.
Thank you for having Christian on the show. He's incredible. And I heard him on Coast to Coast first, and I ordered the product, and I've been taking it ever since because I had a Whipple procedure with it, which is a pancreas surgery. And I had a lot of inflammation, and it's the only thing that helps the inflammation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice to hear from you.
That's fantastic, Diane. Thank you so much for calling in and giving us that little heads up because I'm really kind of sold. I got to go buy product from Christian as soon as I get off the radio. It's happening, right? So
I'm going to send you some.
Oh, thank you. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, why do we need black pepper?
Good question.
Yeah, real quick, because we're down to like the last 2 minutes.
Turmeric by itself is not bioavailable. In other words, 66% of it goes right through the feces and out the end. So
I talked about that earlier. Venus retrograde in Scorpio.
Yeah.
A good time to be taking it.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So BioPerine, which is a patented black pepper, which we have doubled. 5 milligrams was enough for MD Anderson, but I made it 10. So we have 10 milligrams of BioPerine, which makes turmeric very bioavailable and absorbed into the body.
Great.
And it's critically important.
Critically important. Good. I want to, just in the last minute or so of the show, I want to let the listening audience know that you're a musician, Christian.
Well, I went from 20 years of a record producer and songwriter, and so how I got into writing about the heart took 5.5 years, shut down my business, took 5.5 years to write that book, and was constantly being told by people, said, who would read a book if you're not a doctor? If you put MD after you. And I said, no, the facts are the facts. So 5.5 years later, I took the first 5 copies and mailed them to 5 directors of cardiology at 5 major universities. And they all endorsed it to the nth degree.
Wow. That's fantastic. So you are a doctor of the heart and an amazing musician. You've written a song called, what? Something about Seattle? What?
Seattle in the Rain.
Yeah, well, that's appropriate.
I'm going to send it up to you. It's full orchestra. And yeah, I was a trained operatic singer and classical singer, but I enjoyed producing. I produced a lot of artists and worked with the Ventures from your area, Seattle,
Ventures.
Tacoma.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's, you do things for a certain the thing with me, I thought if I can help somebody with that heart book and discover all the things that, everybody was talking about cholesterol.
Yeah.
50% of all people who have heart attacks have normal cholesterol.
Yeah.
So that started me out on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This is Loretta Brown. You can find out more about me at ReikiOasis.com and, of course, the LorettaBrownShow.com. KKNW Archives. You can download this show for free and listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over. And my guest today has been Christian Wild. We've been talking about the amazing healing benefits of turmeric. You can find Christian Wild at www.myheartbook.com. Please connect with him. He's got great stuff out there and wonderful music. And have fun out there. Be careful, Venus retrograde in Scorpio. And cuddle up to your onesie, mansie. It has to happen, Bendy. Sorry. Talk to you next time. Bye now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of KKNW, its management, or other advertisers. Contests are the responsibility of the host of this program and not KKNW. This is Alternative Talk 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KNUC 98.9 HD3 Seattle.
And good morning to you. Benny Mathers here for a look at your Alternative Talk AM 1150 traffic update for Around the Sound, starting things off over on 405 South.